What's going on, fanatics? Albert Torres here for the Morning Fanatic. What a great day of football. Tell you this, I feel great. And you guys know why. The Dallas Cowboys just bounced back after their last loss to the Eagles and destroyed the New York Football Giants 49-17 to get their 12th straight home victory. Man, the Cowboys just dominated today. Dominated. And you know what? I don't want to get too overly excited because the Giants are a bad football team. Had a backup. Don't have Danny Dimes. Even with Danny Dimes, man, I don't think this was going to be a close game either. But again, I don't want to get too overly excited. The Cowboys did what they had to do, beat a bad team. They blew them out. And in 4 games, in 4 home games this season, the Cowboys have outscored their opponents 160 to 50. 160 to 50. The Cowboys are just dominant at home this year, and really for the last year, for the last 12 games now that they've been dominant at home. You know, Prescott, he had his 10th career 400-yard game. Only Breeze has the most with 16. And you know what? Dak Prescott also tied. He tied Patrick Mahomes. So they're the 2 active players right now with 10 career 400-yard games. The other guys are legends, you know. Tom Brady with 14. Peyton Manning with 14. Marino with 13. Roethlisberger 12. Rivers with 11. And then we get to Mahomes. Oh, actually, Stafford is the other active one with 10 career 400-yard games. So Prescott in good company, man. Prescott in good company. It's great that also CeeDee Lamb, his 4th straight 100-yard game. The last player to do it, T.O. Get the popcorn ready. T.O. was the last one to do it back in 2007. And Michael Irvin, he has a team record with 7 games. So we'll see if CeeDee Lamb can keep this momentum going. They have to keep feeding him the ball. I know since that last 49ers game that he's bounced back. And I've been saying that CeeDee Lamb is our best player. We need to keep feeding him the ball, and it looks like that's what we're finally doing. And sometimes, you know, I feel like the Cowboys or Prescott is force-feeding other players when I feel like if you're going to force-feed somebody, force-feed CeeDee Lamb. He's our best player. Don't force-feed anybody else. But it looks like they are. He's playing great. 4 straight games with 100 yards. Can't wait to see what he's going to do next week versus the Panthers. And DaRon Bland, his 5th interception of the year. He had 5 last year when he was a rookie. Since last year, he's had 10 interceptions. That's the most in the NFL in that span. I know it's just 2 years, but 10 interceptions in 2 years, that's unbelievable. When we lost Trayvon Diggs, man, it was a big blow. But, man, DaRon Bland has stepped up big. And 5 interceptions, man. 5 interceptions. That's just big. And the Cowboys just dominated. They dominated with 640 total yards. One thing that I am concerned about is our rushing game. Our rushing game, we only had, what was it? Let me go back here. Rushing, we had 168 yards. Actually, my bad. I was looking at the wrong stat. 168 yards, 472 passing, 33 rushing attempts. 44 attempts passing, try to keep it balanced. But I know that throwing the ball, Dak Prescott was just unbelievable. He was dominant, 26 of 35, 404 yards, 4 touchdowns. That 1 interception before that first quarter ended sucked. I was just thinking, oh, man, here we go. Are the Dallas Cowboys going to downplay to their opponent? And they didn't. They stepped up. The defense was dominant. I know we missed that 4th down conversion being down there at the 1 in our first drive. And I still like that McCarthy was aggressive. I really like that. He stayed aggressive. He didn't care. And our defense, you know, if we lose or if we wouldn't convert, I think our defense, he had faith in our defense that we were going to get him the ball back. Of course, scoring is the main objective, but man, that Cowboys defense was just dominant again today. And yeah, man, there's just not a lot to talk about here. It was a big blowout. The Giants did score 70 points eventually, but that was just after the Cowboys. The game was pretty much out of hand at that point, and the Cowboys were not worried. Cooper Rush came in for Dak Prescott, and we are looking forward to the Carolina Panthers next week, which this is going to be, I think, the easiest stretch for the Cowboys this season that's coming up, which was the Giants, the Panthers, the Commanders, and the Seahawks. So Panthers, I feel pretty good about that game. Commanders, it's 50-50 with them. You don't know what you're going to get, but it should be a win for the Cowboys and the Seahawks as well. Pete Carroll's a great coach, but, the Seahawks haven't been too great. I don't care what their record says. 6-3, I feel like the Cowboys can beat them. They're not. We're both 6-3 right now at this time. I don't think the Seattle Seahawks are going to be a contender as we see the Cowboys being a contender, so I expect the Cowboys to beat them. I don't know if it's going to be soundly, but I expect them to beat them, and I count them as part as being the easy part of the schedule, although they are going to be the hardest part of this easy stretch. And then it goes to the Eagles, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Lions, and ending with the Commanders. This is a stretch where the Cowboys need to go on a 1, 2, 3, 4 game winning streak, and we got the Eagles at home, so that should be 5. And then we got 2 on the road, so it's going to be interesting. Great game. Dominant. Of course, against, not a great team. But that's what contenders and great teams are supposed to do. Dominate the game against these bad teams and not play to their level, which is what the Cowboys did. I'm happy with the victory, of course. And one thing that I'm going to point out is, the Cowboys came in to this game being 29th in the league in red zone opportunities. I know we started 0 for 1, but after that, we converted 6 times in the red zone. We were 6 of 7 this game, so that's a good sign there in the red zone. And great overall, man. Great overall. We dominated the time of possession, 37 minutes to 22. We did have 9 penalties, but we got to clean that up. We got to clean up some of those penalties. We weren't worried too much about that in this blowout win, but penalties is still something that the Cowboys tend to struggle, especially when they play these good teams. That's not something that they can do. And man, again, 640 yards as a team, just dominating win. So we'll see what the Cowboys will do next week against Carolina. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be at Carolina, so on the road is where we've had these losses. And the last one that we might have taken the opponent lightly was the Cardinals. So I don't want the same thing to happen. Seems like the Cowboys are focused. McCarthy's keeping them focused. And Dak Prescott just needs to continue playing at this high level, as well as CeeDee Lamb. And Brandon Cooks had a great game. He had a great game as well. He had, 173 yards on 9 receptions, 1 touchdown, 10 targets. Whew, man, great game between CeeDee Lamb and Cooks, 24 targets. That's just, 20 receptions between both, 2 touchdowns, over 300 yards actually between both. Man, great win. Not much bad to say, again, because of the team that they were playing. But let's see what happens next week. I really hope they don't downplay to their opponent and they stay focused and just keep winning until we meet the Philadelphia Eagles at home. That's going to be the game that I'm looking forward to next in these couple of games that's coming up. So give me your thoughts. See what you guys thought of the game, what you thought or what you're thinking of the upcoming games for the Cowboys. Let me know in the comments below. I'll respond to you guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. Share this with a friend. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up as well. I'll see you on the next one.